From shady sneaker deals to straight-up wire fraud, there's actually a lot that the NBA doesn't want you to know. We all know Michael Jordan not only as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but also the face of the iconic Nike Jordan shoes. MJ literally made billions off the collaboration, but this sneaker deal didn't come without its controversies. When Nike got called out in 1996 for using unethical sweatshop labors, Michael Jordan refused to criticize his brand's parent company. Why should I? The star athlete complained, going on to defend Nike by saying that hopefully Nike will do the right thing, whatever that may be. This isn't the first time that the NBA and its players have escaped accountability. The Sudanese-American player Manute Bol was rumored to have killed an actual lion with a spear in his village in Africa. While it sounds pretty awesome, it's a little problematic that neither the player nor the NBA have addressed these claims, because killing a lion can raise serious animal rights concerns. Animal rights aside, the NBA doesn't have the greatest track record for human rights either. In the 90s, NBA players were involved in racketeering, corruption, and prostitution with an Atlanta strip club, the Gold Club. The club owner, Steve Kaplan, was approached by player Larry Johnson to send one of the strippers back to the team's hotel room. Pretty scandalous and illegal stuff here. While the raunchy request was initially refused, Kaplan began thinking of the prospect of setting up the strip dancers with star athletes. Of course, this pairing formula will make Kaplan more money by attracting more celebrities to the club, and NBA players get their happy ending. Win-win, right? Of course not. While the NBA was once again above the law, the Golden Club was shut down, and Kaplan paid a hefty $5 million fine for the crimes. Well, we think there's a trend here. Crime seems to be the NBA's favorite hobby. When they aren't shooting hoops, players are actively scamming their own league. The NBA offers a generous health and welfare benefit plan, but of course no amount of perks can satisfy greedy players. In 2021, news broke that 18 former players were caught in trying to cheat the NBA out of nearly $4 million. 16 of them were in custody for conspiracy to commit healthcare and wire fraud. Live and learn, boys. It's not that easy to claim that you're getting a root canal in LA while you're actually playing ball in Taiwan. Maybe Terrence Williams, the alleged criminal mastermind behind this scheme, should focus more on his game rather than making fake invoices for money. While we've talked about many instances of players getting their hands dirty, maybe it's time to direct some of the heat to the NBA management. Imagine being an athlete. While you're performing under that pressure, you'd expect your referees to be doing their job with honesty, right? After all, the whole point of professional sports is for it to be a fair game. Sadly, NBA players have been let down by their management, notably by their veteran referee, Tim Donaghy. In 2007, publications like the New York Times began reporting that Donaghy had been influencing game outcomes.
So that word that you just used was the word that Phil Scala, one of the FBI agents, said, could have happened subconsciously, which, is possible, but I can only tell you that I didn't go out there and send Kobe or Shaq or some of these big stars to the bench. I just did within the rules.
See, Donaghy and his associates had been betting on the games. Reports allege that for 2 seasons straight, the referee made the wrong calls at critical points in order to try and change the results of the game. In a shocking twist, it was reported that Donaghy was even under pressure from mob members to make his unethical calls. Ultimately, this dirty business eventually got the FBI involved. Donaghy even had to appear in a federal inquiry. Pretty shady ethical standards at the NBA, right? Well, the prestigious league has been questionable in other areas too, namely with their underage players. It's no secret that Kobe Bryant was a minor when selected for the 1996 NBA draft. Because he was underage at the time, his parents initially co-signed the contract until he turned 18 later that year. The NBA might have changed Kobe's life, and while Kobe had no complaints, that doesn't mean the decision to draft him while underage was the right one. Children can be easily swayed by the seemingly glamorous lifestyles of professional athletes. However, they might not really understand what being an athlete is all about. Years of dedication, staying at peak physical strength, and endless sacrifices can take its toll. And because of their youth, kids probably can't grasp what they're getting into. Having a parent co-sign on your behalf can be problematic too, as we've seen endless examples of parents exploiting their children for fame, stardom, and money. While on the topic of Kobe Bryant, there are secrets about the icon ironic late athlete's life that neither fans nor the NBA want to discuss. The NBA likely feels that some things are better left unsaid. But for how long can scandals be kept under wraps, especially if there's a charge involved? In 2003, Bryant was charged with a 19-year-old spa employee in Colorado. As per the athlete's own admission, he never asked for consent. The assault also resulted in a bruised neck and bleeding for the victim.
It's a lot that I've learned through that experience, and a lot of things specifically that I went through during that process that I wish I could dive into, but it's just.
It's reported that because of how heavily Bryant's defense team attacked the victim and damaged her reputation, she refused to testify. The case finally settled out of criminal court, where Kobe paid an undisclosed sum in a civil suit. These are the dark realities of NBA players that are rarely ever brought to light. The NBA as an institution deserves to be called out for not taking these issues more seriously. Honestly, as more of these secrets unfold, it's hard to be surprised with the organization's tactics. The NBA would do anything to benefit itself, even if it comes at the cost of their own players. One memorable incident was the infamous new ball. Being a profit-driven league, the association made the ridiculous mistake of thinking they could get away with cutting corners on the ball. Seriously, guys, it's basketball. All you need to play a good game is the shoes and the ball. In 2006, the NBA rolled out an innovative new ball that was meant to be revolutionary to the game. Departing from the traditional leather balls, the new ball was made out of synthetic microfiber material, a considerably cheaper alternative. Predictably, the change was chaotic. The NBA didn't let the players test out the new balls until right before the season started. And guess what? They hated it. The new ball's feel was plasticky. It affected the players' grip and shooting, and it also ultimately led to some players injuring their fingers. It was revolutionary, alright. It should be a lesson to the NBA that just because something is making you more money, it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. All things considered, being a member of this prized association ultimately isn't easy. Being a superstar athlete may sound like the coolest job in the world, but remember, all that glitters is not gold. Athletes have often spoken out about how tough the job is, and just how much it affects their mental health. Kevin Love, for example, talked in length about his struggles with depression, and how he used basketball as a distraction and an escape from his issues. It's important to remember, as in Love's own words, that you can't achieve yourself out of your problems. Well, there's that on the NBA. From criminal enterprises to personal scandals and management letdowns, the beloved elite basketball league certainly has its fair share of problems that it doesn't want you to know.